Hi guys, it's me Karen, and I've come to do a picture today in the wonderful World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. And I'm going to be doing a picture in here in interesting colors for you. I've decided to do this butterfly one, and it was going to be my first one, but I did the other one I did in here that's brown, and I also did a a double page spread in here just to check out pencils and stuff. But we're going to do the background in monochrome colors. So I'm going to do this all in gray in the back, and then the butterfly is going to be done in kind of a rainbow color, so the butterfly will really stand out. So I'm just going to color in all the flowers here in gray tones, and I'm going to use my Prismacolors because I have the most gray tones in that set. So we are going to use the cool grays, and I don't have them in order. I have one Scholar pencil in here, that's why it's different. Okay. I have the Cool Gray 10, Cool Gray 30, and Cool Gray 70, and corresponding numbers will be put in the box below. And I also have this Cool Gray. It's a pale Cool Gray from the Scholars set. I had pulled out the grays that I had, and this one's a Scholar pencil, so they all come in a different array of the gray tones. And I can probably pull out a black, but I'm not going to do that until a little bit later. If you notice, the lighting is a little different today. We are actually in a different room, so hopefully this all works and doesn't echo too much, because there's really not much in this room but a desk and a bookcase and me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is try to get you down a little lower here, and we will attempt some of these leaves. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with this little curly Q guy here, so get you in frame. I'm going to go in with the darkest, and that's the 70, and I'm just going to lay some of that down here and go up one of the sides. I find the one thing about coloring in one color that I like other than the fact that you have to give up all color control when you're coloring a particular flower or leaf or whatever, is that you just shade it like you would if you were doing this in green or yellow, or dark green and light green, or brown and orange, or whatever color scheme you want. And you just have to remember where your shading goes, and then it goes darker to lighter in that particular area. But the only colors you have to pick out are the single color family in the dark to the lightest tones, which kind of makes this a nice relaxing coloring, because I don't have to. So there are so many leaves in here that are all different. So I think I counted, and there was over 10 different style of leaves, and that would have been probably trying to pick out 10 different styles or colorations of the greens and the 10s, whatever other color you want to color your leaves. And this way it's just coloring them in with the gray tones, which is something I used to do a lot in school. I don't know if you got peaches when you guys went to school. They were just, folders to hold your papers in, and they were kind of a manila color folder that had like a picture of somebody playing tennis and basketball and I think there was a cheerleader on them or something. I don't know. But there was a lot of blank space. And then you're sitting in school and listening to a lecture or watching a movie for the 10th time on something you really didn't need to watch because you already understood the lesson. You would get bored and you would just take out your handy dandy pencil, take notes on your peachy, but I would doodle. And when you doodle with a graphite pencil, the only shading you get is the darkness and lightness that you use in the pressure of your pencil. And of course, it would end up looking kind of cool at the end, and everybody would be wanting to see everybody else's peaches. Got into higher education, more or less high school, middle school, that area. You kind of gave up your pencils because back in my day we all had to write. Now this is black. This is also a Sargent art. I just wanted it a little darker in this area. Anyway, middle school we had to, write everything in pen, so you went to doodling in black ink, which could get kind of messy. So you had to be careful. It wasn't black ink like, coloring black ink or drawing black ink. It was just your ballpoint pen, and some were better than others at, I get a Prisma black. I brought in 2 sets of pencils here. I don't even know if I have the Prisma black in here. Well, I have the Scholar black, so I'll bring that out. Anyway, it's just like your Bic pen and such, so didn't dry terribly well in between classes. So, your clothes would get a little dirty. Fun times. Anyway, so this is all I'm going to do is start with a darker color in the most reset area and then just bring it out. And then where I want a little extra darkness, I'll just bring in the black. And doing this, just have fun with it, because this is more like doodling than coloring, and it's gonna look really nice when it's all finished, because it's just going to be all gray tones in the back and then a very bright butterfly. The background's also going to be done in the grays, so we'll get we'll do one of these little flowers over here. See how we do these. Probably put a little darker line in that and bring some darker lines up. So far I've only used the 70 and 30%. I think I want a lighter one here, so we're going to go for the 10%. Add in some lighter highlights here. In fact, we'll add a couple of those light ones in the center of all these So it reminds me I want it light there. Dark down here. This petal's under that one. And darken the tip up here. And just go around and do that to all of them. That one's sitting underneath everybody, so we want to make sure he gets really dark down there. So I hope you're all doing well. I was having fun with the last video I did. It's always a learning curve when you do a double spread. I forget how long they take, how much work goes into them, but you feel really good when you're done with it, and then it turned out. Some parts of that one I wasn't sure were going to. It's going to darken up the very edges of this. This is just the black. Okay, we're also going to bring in, and I think I might have to go out to the other room for that. Didn't bring in a white pencil, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the white. And I also found the 20% gray, which is probably the one that we have over here in the Scholar color. I also brought in the Prisma black and the blending tool, Karen Dash thing that I might use, I might not. It all depends. But since we have the white, we're going to add some white in here. Kind of bring that up a little bit. And then darken the center of it again. Little lines on it. And there we go. Okay, there's like 3 of those. They're all going to be done the same. 3 more of them. So I'm just going to pick and choose a few of these to show you how I'm going to do them. So I'll take this leaf up here. We're going to darken this with the black first. Then we'll bring in a lightest gray. That's the 10%. And just kind of blend that out. And then when we do the leaf, we're kind of gonna want a little lightness. Kind of make it a rounder leaf, so we're just gonna go right down the center. And that'll be our curve on that side, and then we'll make it a little closer on this side. Okay, then we'll go in with the, this is a 70%, and just bring it up from the center and up on the bottom of each one of these. Just a light touch, darker as you get towards the vein here. Just basically the same way as we did the other leaf. We are going to bring some of this down from the corners up here. So basically just that way. It's just a lot of shading to go on with this. And then we'll bring in, which one is this? The 30%. And just make sure we go over it and bring that down in, and over it and bring that down up, leaving the lightest area open, but blending into it. Okay. Don't want to see the lines, you just want it to blend. And a little bit of white will help that out. So you just take your white, just go over that whole area, almost down to the leaf part and almost all the way up to the top. Just giving it a brightness. And then you go back in with your colors and darken it. Whoops, so sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. Darken those areas up a little bit. And then we'll just work on the other side and do the same thing. I'm going to do this with the light up here, just so I have an easier blend. bit darker down here, and then we will get to working on another leaf. Two more little pieces here, and then I'll do the other side. So I'll just bring that up. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to add some more shading in here. Want it really dark down here at the bottom. So just kind of adding a little more color up that line. And this edge down here I want really dark. So I'm going to bring in the black. And really add some darkness down here. I'm just kind of lightly bringing it up. And then we'll bring some of this, the sharpest edge of the pencil I can get, back down. I'm just turning it in my hand. And on the very tip up here, we're going to get dark and then just blend it out to a real light color. And then we'll do the same on the other side. If you want to bring up these lines, just trace over them with the heavy hand here, going up, turning your pencil. It's a really easy way to keep your point sharp without having to sharpen it all the time. So if you just remember to turn it when you're pressing hard, you always get a crisp line. So that's what I'm working at, is a nice little curve to the leaf itself. This is just the 20%, going over any of the lines just to bring them down further, or to blend out any of the lines I put down that we're still seeing white through. And then we will try and see what the blender does. I've never used it on this book. So we'll find out. Okay. Just add a little bit of that in there. That looks pretty good. We'll use it on this leaf down here and see how it works here. Pretty impressed with this one. It doesn't take up the pigment of the pencils. The Prismacolor one just kind of takes off the color. Doesn't really blend it, and this one really blends nicely. I'll do the little flower while I'm here. Blend everybody. Awesome. Okay. Well, maybe I'll do a couple of these teeny tiny little leaves while I'm here. So we will start with the dark gray and just the 10%, so the 70 down here in the corner, up one side. This is the bottom of the flower, so it's going to have the most shade. And do this one opposite because this is going to be under and needs the shade. Okay, and got one more little guy. Then we'll just go in with the 10% gray and kind of blend that together. And then we'll do the stems the same way we did the other one. We'll go in with the black. Bring it down from the flower or the leaf down in the little V part. It's underneath, so it needs to be a little darker. And we'll do the same. No, that's his antenna. That's his other antenna. We don't have to do that. Those get color. And we'll add a little more of the darkness down here. Airplane. Not used to the sounds in this room. This is the 10%. Just bringing it down, going over the black. And back up. And then we'll go in with the 70% just to add any color if we need it. I didn't bring in my little brush to get rid of the little flakes either. Well, I'll have to get that, won't I? Yeah, let's see. What do I have here that I can wipe that away with? Not much. Okay, well, I'll go get that and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm probably going to want these lighter, and I will probably use a little bit of an eraser in some of these just because I don't want them all so dark, but we'll just work with what we got right now. I can also add some Posca in there. Put a little more white down in here. Bring it up on some of the leaves. Down on these. Okay, so we've got half a leaf up there, a leaf here, and flower, and some vines going. So we might as well we'll work on this little flower over here. I hope this is a good enough angle because I can change this. Hold on. Alright, so I tilted the camera a little bit. And we'll see if that gives you a better angle. And we're going to do this one here. I'm going to just darken up this down. I'll leave kind of a white in here. It's got enough lines in it, I think. So we'll just bring it up. So I hope you're all doing well. The weather in your neck of the woods doing good. Some people are not having such a good time with their weather. We can leave this one quite light gray, and then we'll darken the little caps that come over here. So I'm just going to go in with some black here. Bring that up and bring it down. And then go in with the light gray. And it connects to these flowers, or leaves, sorry. So we will do one of these. This is again just the black. Okay, then we'll bring in the 10%. Let's see how that blends. And we'll grab the other two I have, the 30 and the 70, and we'll go in with the 30 first. Just bring some of that up. And then the 70. It's going to darken the one side. And then the black. And go back over it with the light and just make sure everybody is blended in. Okay. And then if you want, put a little extra white in here just so it doesn't blend in with the other leaf. Or you can add white on that leaf and make sure it doesn't blend in with this one. just as long as there's a definition in between the two. So we're going to darken this one with the black, just so it stands out as the other leaf. There. And that works good. And we'll just keep going down this little line here with extra colors. So that's the 70. A little shadow for that one. Then we'll go in with the 30%. Down here, this is just following it around. Where it's darkest, we're going to go in with the black. Same thing with this leaf. We're just going to go in the black on this side, very lightly bring up that color and fade it up to the lightest gray. We're going to use white on this side. We'll just blend it with the white this time. And then go in with the 70% and darken that up a little. So it's just a lot of playing with the different colors. I'll darken up that line in there. And do this little flower up here too, or leaf. And then just bring in the white. Blend, blend, blend. Okay. Anyway, that is the way we're going to just keep working the background. Got a nice array of flowers. I think most of the leaves are done kind of in the same way as those or these. Trying to look at the other things. The only other flower was the orchid and the sunflower. So there are two of those. So I'll go ahead and do the sunflower here. Since we're on this side, we're just going to do it with the black, and we'll add some shadows in here. Just gonna exaggerate the lines they already put in, bring them out further. And bring an occasional one up the side. Darken them down here. Where you think you're going to get a shadow. And the little center part here, we're gonna darken one side of it, kind of like a little C shape. And we're gonna want to keep the C shapes the same. So this is going this way, this one, this one, this one, if this makes sense. So here we have our C here, and then our C is going to start kind of in the same spot and go around same kind of spot here and go around. Okay, so I went around in C's all the way around, so they all going in basically the same C pattern, and that's the pattern you get when you do that. And then I just I'm going to kind of leave it with just a tiny bit of shading in there. I got to figure out if I want to put the lightest or the white in there. And if I put the white, we can just blend the outer bit in a little bit. And leave a little more paper underneath these up here to brighten those up a little bit, darken it down here. So that's the effect I'm going to go with on the other little guy down here too. So just the C's all going in one pattern around all of the berry parts. And then for the little leaf petal things that are coming out down here, we'll just blend that. This is just the white, and we'll bring that up. And again, I think I'm going to leave some of that highlighting with just the paper. Kind of liking that effect there. I will have to be careful when I go over it with the Distress ink though, because I don't want it to get into too many of those places. But that is how those are going to be done. Like I said, I did bring my eraser in, so if there's any areas that I think need to be lightened, I will. It's just a there you go. You can read it because I don't want to try to pronounce that. It's an electric eraser. They're all kind of about the same. They have a little piece that goes in here and then just clips in, and you use it as a battery operated thing. And if there's any place I want to like brighten, I will just bring the eraser in and add some lines. And then if I need to blend that back in, I'll just go in either with a white or a gray and just add a little more definition and brighten up the leaf a little bit. It works real well on these little leaves, just to add a little. If I went too dark, these little baby guys, you do have to be careful. Like on here, I got some of the black, so I usually wipe off the eraser on something else, and then you can go in and get rid of that. If it doesn't come up that well, it's okay, because I am going to, like I said, run gray in the back, so that is not going to bother me any. Anyway, so I'm going to have to end the video now. We're into about 40 minutes, and I will go ahead and finish the portions that match the ones I colored. So the rest of these flowers, I will do the little bell flowers basically the same way as I did this one. All the leaves that look like this will be done the same way. All the leaves that curl around will be done the same way, and all the leaves that are big like this will also be done the same way, and the other half of this guy will be done. I will leave the orchid for part 2, along with let's see, the rest of that is just all the leaves and stuff that are done the same. So I'll leave the orchid and probably this leaf over here, and we'll start on the butterfly in part 2. So I hope you guys have a great day. Happy coloring, and I will see you in part 2. Take care now.